$500 million. That's how much it cost to develop a single video game. 4 studios worked on it. Thousands of people. 5 years of non-stop work. The result? The most successful launch in franchise history. 7 million copies sold in 3 days. Almost 1 million players online at once. Looked like a triumph. 3 months later, 85% of players were gone. Just left. Now, here's another story. $10 million. 1 studio. A team with no bosses. At all. Desks on wheels so you can roll over to another project whenever you want. Sounds like complete chaos, right? This game came out in 2007. Today, it's 2026. And 50,000 people still play it every single day. 18 years. No sequels. No remakes. No reboots. Just alive. 50,000. That's more than many new games have a month after release. A game that launched before the iPhone even existed still pulls more players than fresh releases. How did this happen? Why did a $10 million game outlive everything else? And why is a big budget not a guarantee of success? Let's break it down. Today, we're talking about 3 games, 3 team shooters, 3 completely different fates. First, Team Fortress 2. Valve, 2007. Budget, roughly $10 million. Nobody knows the exact number because Valve is a private company. They don't report to anyone. Second, Overwatch. Blizzard, 2016. Development budget estimated between 15 and 60 million. Ad marketing and the esports league comes out to around 100 million. Third, Battlefield 6. EA and 4 studios, 2025. Officially, over $400 million. One of the most expensive games in industry history. 3 different budgets, 3 different eras. One question. Can the most expensive game last as long as the cheapest one? Spoiler. The answer will surprise you. Let's start with TF2. This story is incredible. Valve announced the game in 1998. Yeah, you heard that right, 98. A serious military game, realistic graphics, tactical team play. They showed it at E3, won several awards. Then, silence. 6 years. 0 news. Nothing. The game ended up on vaporware lists. Projects announced, but never released. Right next to Duke Nukem Forever, if you remember that legendary disaster. People joked, made memes. Nobody believed TF2 would ever come out. But Valve didn't give up. They kept rebuilding the game over and over. According to developers, 3 or 4 complete versions thrown in the trash. Why could they afford to do this? Gabe Newell, Valve's founder, worked at Microsoft for 13 years. Left as a millionaire thanks to stock options. He could fund development himself. No investors, no pressure, no deadlines. Quote, "We'll release the game when it's ready, not before." Try saying that to EA or Activision shareholders. You'd be fired the next day. But Valve is a private company. Gabe Newell owns it. He can do whatever he wants. In 2007, 9 years after the announcement, TF2 finally launched. And it was cartoony, goofy, nothing like the serious military game they promised back in '98. The designers drew inspiration from American artist Norman Rockwell. He painted magazine covers and old spy movies from the '60s. The result was completely unique. 9 characters with distinct personalities. Heavy with a minigun that costs $400,000 for 12 seconds of firing. Scout who can't shut up. Spy, well, you know. And here's the coolest part. This style still looks good today. Cartoon graphics don't age like photorealism. A 2007 game, and the screenshots don't look like archaeological artifacts. Compare it to other shooters from that era, the difference is striking. But releasing a good game is one thing. Keeping it alive for 18 years is another. How did Valve do it? In 2011, they made a decision everyone thought was insane. The game went completely free to play. What do you think happened to revenue? Dropped? Makes sense, it's free now. Nope. Revenue increased 12 times. Not 12%, 12 times. How? Cosmetics. Hats, skins, unusual effects. Items that don't affect gameplay at all. But everyone wants them. Because looking cool matters. And keep in mind, this was 2011. Free-to-play wasn't standard yet. Most people thought free games were trash for mobile phones. Valve proved it could work for major PC titles. They essentially invented the model everyone copied later. From Fortnite to League of Legends. Everyone makes money on cosmetics now. And another genius move, Steam Workshop. Valve told the community, "Want to make content for our game? Go ahead. Model hats, design skins. If we add it officially, you get a cut of the profit." Over the years, they added over 1,400 items from the community. 1,400. Valve basically got an army of free developers who were happy to do it. TF2's economy became so complex it has its own currencies. Some hats cost thousands of dollars. People trade, speculate, invest. And most importantly, Valve didn't break the game. TF2 in 2026 is the same game as 2007. Same 9 classes, same mechanics, same spirit. They didn't make TF3, didn't reimagine the game every 2 years. Just let it live. And people stayed. Now, Overwatch. This story is painful, especially for those who love this game. 2016, Blizzard, legendary studio, creators of Warcraft and Diablo, releases a new hero shooter. Vibrant characters, unique abilities, incredible quality. Polished to perfection. And it was a triumph. $1 billion in revenue the first year. Billion. 50 million players. Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Esports League with $1 million prizes. Overwatch was everywhere. Cosplays at every convention. Memes on every social network. It seemed like the new TF2. A new classic for a decade. Then 2019 came. BlizzCon. Blizzard's biggest event. Thousands of fans in the audience. Blizzard announces Overwatch 2. And the main feature, not new PvP. The main feature, PvE. Story campaign. Co-op missions. Hero progression with talent trees. Everything fans had been asking for. Because Overwatch had incredible characters with amazing backstories. Tracer, who jumps through time. Genji, a cyborg ninja with a brother-turned-enemy. Widowmaker, who was reprogrammed to kill her own husband. But the actual game had almost no lore. Everything was told through comics and YouTube shorts. In the game itself, you just shot stuff. Blizzard promised, we'll finally give you the story. Full missions, cutscenes, dialogue. They showed demos, let journalists play it. Fans were ecstatic. October 2022. After 3 years of waiting, Overwatch 2 launches. Without PvE. Blizzard said, it's coming later. For now, play PvP. Just wait. People waited. May 2023. Blizzard goes on stream and says, we're canceling PvE. We can't deliver what we showed. 4 years of waiting. And just, sorry, didn't work out. They released 3 missions, 30 minutes each, for $15. That's it. And the story they promised? They finished it with an audiobook on YouTube. Seriously. Instead of a game, an audiobook. But that's not all. They killed Overwatch 1. Literally. The original game no longer exists. Servers are gone. 50 million people paid $60. And we're told, your game doesn't exist anymore. Play our free version. Imagine this. You bought a car, drove it for years. Then the manufacturer shows up, takes it away and says, here's a different one, it's free. But your old one, gone. That's exactly how Overwatch players felt. They changed the format from 6v6 to 5v5. Players spent years learning one game, got handed a different one. Adapt, monetization. Before, you could earn skins just by playing. Now, $20 a pop. Then competition arrived. December 2024. Marvel Rivals launches. Same hero shooter, but with Spider-Man and Iron Man. Free to play, 6v6. New heroes, free. Within a month, Overwatch lost 40% of its Steam players. Minimum online, under 17,000. Irony. In 2016, Overwatch was called the TF2 killer. Now it's being killed itself. And finally, Battlefield 6. But first, 2042. A disaster. One of the worst reviewed games on Steam. Bugs everywhere. Empty, massive maps. Specialists instead of classes. Nobody knew who did what. A 20-year franchise was on the verge of death. EA needed to save it, fast. They combined 4 studios, DICE, Criterion, Motive, Ripple Effect, into Battlefield Studios. Put Vince Zampella in charge of the guy who created Call of Duty and Titanfall. And they started listening to players. Classes back? Done. Destruction like old Battlefield? Done. Single player? Done. Budget? Over $400 million. 5 years of development? October 2025. Battlefield 6 launches. 747,000 players on Steam day 1. 7 million copies in 3 days. Most successful launch in franchise history. For the first time in years, Battlefield outsold Call of Duty. That was unbelievable. Battlefield always lost in sales. YouTubers made videos saying EA finally got it right. Reddit exploded with positivity. People said it was the best game since Battlefield 4. Battlefield was back. Then 3 months passed. January 2026. Let's look at the numbers. Peak, 80,000 players. Was 747,000. Drop, 89%. What went wrong? Bugs after every patch. Maps too small for real Battlefield. People wanted epic battles across massive landscapes. Got something smaller. Battle Royale mode flopped. just didn't click. And competition. ARC Raiders, a game from former Battlefield developers, retains 91% of its players. BF6 loses 85. People who left DICE because they weren't allowed to make what they wanted, now making a game that beats their former project in player retention. The biggest budget in franchise history, and the game can't hold players for even one quarter. Let's talk money. Modern AAA games cost $200 million and up. Where does it go? Half, salaries for hundreds of people over years. A third, graphics, models, textures. And another third, marketing. Sometimes more than the game itself. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, $50 million on development, $200 on advertising. 4 times more on telling you about the game than making it. That's the insanity of modern gaming. Budgets grow, risks grow, but games live shorter and shorter. And TF2, small team. Cartoon graphics, cheaper to make and doesn't age. Launched in the orange box alongside Half-Life 2 and Portal. And most importantly, time. Valve could afford 9 years because nobody pressured them. Big budget isn't an advantage. It's pressure. Spend hundreds of millions. Gotta make it back. Fast. Shareholders want returns now. That's where aggressive monetization comes from. Battle passes, $20 skins, FOMO mechanics. And TF2? Valve just left it alone. And it's been making money for 18 years. So, what do we have? TF2 survived because Valve did 3 things right. First, they didn't rush. Released when ready. Second, gave control to the community. Workshop economy mods. Players keep the game alive. Valve just provides tools. Third, didn't break what works. No TF3. No reimagining. No format changes. Just maintained what worked. Overwatch had everything, and lost it through broken promises. Battlefield 6 proved. Money can buy a successful launch, but it can't buy loyalty. Will BF6 last 18 years? My take, no. EA is a public company with shareholders. They can't just let a game be. Sooner or later, they'll release Battlefield 7. TF2 is alive because Valve never released TF3. Sometimes the best thing you can do for your game is stop improving it. Stop making sequels. Stop reimagining. Stop chasing trends. Just let the game be a game. But for a public company, that's impossible. And that's the main lesson here. It's not that Valve is better than EA. It's not that indie is better than AAA. It's that company structure determines a game's fate. A private company with no shareholders can think decades ahead. A public one thinks in quarters. And as long as that's true, we'll keep seeing the same thing. Successful launch, aggressive monetization, player exodus, new sequel, repeat. And TF2 will keep living. Quietly, peacefully, with its hats and community. Maybe that's what real success in gaming looks like. Not $1 billion in year 1, but 50,000 happy players 18 years later. Thanks for watching to the end. Like and subscribe really help the channel. Drop a comment. What's your favorite team shooter? And do you think any modern game can last 18 years? I'm genuinely curious what you think. See you in the next one.